Hello everyone, I'm Heather. I'm back for a really quick video to talk about my plans for February. So, February, you know, is a time of love and romance, but also it's lockdown. My kid isn't in school at the minute. They're hoping she'll go back on the 22nd, so we're just praying for that. But for the majority of February, she's going to be at home bugging me. Also, I can see out my window, it's snowing, okay? It's freezing cold, it's terrible weather, it's dark, it's grim. So, for February, books-wise, TBR-wise, I've decided I'm going to read both horror and filthy romance, okay? Like, yeah, romance without any sort of filth is nice sometimes, but not for this month, okay? This month there's going to need to be some very gritty sexual situations in the romance, or else it's not going to work. So I've set up a stack of couple books, couple audiobooks ready to go for Feb. I may sort of change it up a bit as it goes along, you know, like these kind of books at the minute and this kind of situation that we're in, like I can't be dealing with books that aren't good, so I may try to get more into the DNFing situation and to be more open to that than I have been in the past, because this is not a time to be wasting my life reading bad books, and I'm not sure about these ones, so I'll have to keep you updated. First of all, start with the horror books that I'm looking to get into. So I'm not hugely into horror generally because I'm a huge wimp. My imagination is very strong, stronger than me and my willpower personally. Like, even if I see horror movie trailers, like that creature or whatever that was there is suddenly in my house and wants to kill me. So I like more the kind of horror that's like a slow burning, creepy sort of one. No, like really intense, like horrific, scary stuff. So the first one I have is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I learned about this one from Shan at Past Story Time, and she said it was really good. And also from her, I learned about another Grady Hendrix one, which is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Vampire Slaying or something. I can't think of the name at the minute. I'll like put it up. But that one was amazing. I really liked it. It was really good. And she said she liked this one, or Shan said she liked this one even more than that other one, so I'm pretty excited. Basically, the idea about this one is these two friends, they're in high school, they've been best friends for ages, and they go skinny dipping, and something happens while they're skinny dipping, and one of the girls gets like possessed or something, like some sort of spirit overtakes her. She starts acting really crazy. Then the best friend realizes what's happened and tries to save her. And like on the back it says, "Is their friendship powerful enough to beat the devil? Like an unholy hybrid of Beaches and The Exorcist, My Best Friend's Exorcism blends teen angst, adolescent drama, unspeakable horrors, and a mix of 80s pop songs into a pulse-pounding supernatural thriller." I'm excited. I've had this on my shelf for a bit and I haven't been able to get to it, and I feel like this is the perfect atmosphere. Freezing cold, terrible lockdown. This is just going to be amazing. Okay, next one. I've had on my list for quite a while as well. I heard it was amazing, and then I heard it was terrible, and then I heard it was amazing again. So I'm not sure how it's going to be completely honest. I'm really hoping it's going to be good. It's YA anyway, which I generally, I don't know, don't get on with, but sometimes I just love them. So it's fully up in the air. It's called Wilder Girls by Rory Power. This one, basically the idea is it's a girls' school on an island and there's a plague. What? But this like disease or whatever that's taken over makes everything really scary. It's not just that people die, I guess. It also makes them weird and creepy like zombies or something. But all the adults on the island have died and loads of the kids, and now there's just some kids left trying to survive sort of by themselves on this island, and they can't leave like the school on the island because the woods around the school have also been made really creepy and like dangerous and wild because of this like virus or plague or whatever. Anyway, there's this girl, her friend goes missing or something, and now she's got to go save her friend from the scary wilds or whatever. I'm excited. The next one, oh no. So the next one of the horrors I have waiting to go is called Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Morena Garcia. And she wrote another one that I also want to read. I think it's like Gods of Jade and something. Like I also have it downstairs on my shelf and I want to read it because I've heard it's really good, but I haven't yet. I will do at some point. But the idea of this one is it's another sort of like slow burn creepy one, and it may or may not be YA, I'm not sure. But the idea is it's Mexico in the 1950s, and it's a sort of haunted mansion type one, you know, which I really love. I do love like a haunted mansion type thing. So her cousin, this girl, her cousin writes and says, come save me. This house that I've moved into, like she just got married, the house that I've moved into is really creepy. There's ghosts, they're restless, they're trying to get me. Also my husband, he's trying to kill me, he's trying to poison me, blah, 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 come help me. So she's like, okay. And she goes to investigate the situation and like save her cousin or whatever at this mansion, haunted mansion. But while she's there, she gets all these like terrible dreams and stuff. Like, I'm excited. It's gonna be creepy. Like loads of other people have said it's really good, so I'm excited. And those are my horror ones. I think I'm gonna like intersperse them, you know, like horror, romance, you know. Or if I'm like really into the zone, you know, maybe I'll just go all horror and then go on to the romance ones. I don't know what my plan will be, but this is sort of like generally the rough outline. So of the romance ones I have, the first one, okay, stay with me here. Julia Quinn's Bridgerton, The Duke and I. Okay, so everyone probably knows they've just made this into a Netflix show thing called Bridgerton. And I originally was against it because, I don't know, I wasn't getting the vibe in the first episode, so I stopped watching it. I was like, no, this isn't for me. But then I got really bored over lockdown and Christmas, and I was like, well, there's nothing else to watch. I'll just give it a go. By like the end of the second episode, it had me all the way, and I just like binged through all of them. They were so good. So this is basically the book series that it's based on. So the first season of that show that I've watched now is the first book, you know, and then the second book will be the next season or whatever, and it's about this family, and each sort of book or series of the show or whatever will be about one kid in the family. There's like a ton of kids, and this one is about the girl Daphne, and she's like the fourth kid. Anyway, they're all like Regency era aristocracy, and Daphne's looking for a husband because she's of a marriageable age, but she's not really having any success. And then she meets this duke who is the best friend of her brother, and he's having other situations, you know, to do with he's got to find a wife and he doesn't want to and blah, 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 blah. So they decide to pretend to be courting each other in order to get everyone off their backs, and of course blooms into real romance, as you know. And sex. Loads of sex. Loads of sex. I'm into it. Okay, so next one, I've only heard about it, I think, like not that often. I haven't heard a lot about it, but it looks pretty good, so I don't know, we'll see. Again, like the DNFing is going to have to be more on the table now for this situation, because it could turn out that these are just absolutely terrible and only God knows right now. So the next one is Mr. Malcolm's List by Suzanne Elaine. Ollen? Allen? I don't know. So the idea for this one is it's an aristocratic man, a man who's rich or whatever, don't know, Mr. Malcolm. So he needs to find a wife, and he's been looking for years, but he's got this very specific list of qualities that he needs from the woman that he marries, and it's a ridiculous list. It's like completely unreasonable, blah, blah, blah. And people find out about his list, and they decide that he needs to be punished for like putting women through this or having unreasonable standards. So this woman sort of gets her friend over to help, and the woman is like poor, she's a vicar's daughter, like, you know, her like means are not very good, like she's not, you know, a good bride for this guy. But they get her in on the plan to get revenge by making her act according to the list, you know. They like get her in on it, and they're like, okay, so we're gonna give you the list and we're gonna teach you to act in the way of the list, you know. You're gonna reel him in thinking that, or so that he thinks that you're like this perfect bride, and then you're gonna crush all his hopes and dreams like that. So she's in on the joke, everyone's in on the joke, and I imagine, stay with me here, that real romance will bloom. That's just my thinking, potentially, and also that sex will happen because that's what I was promised. Yeah, okay. So next one is called, okay, like just stay with me here. Okay, Do or Die by Suzanne Brockman. This one is about a guy who's a Navy SEAL, or he's a former Navy SEAL or something, and now he just is like a leader of this like group of agents or whatever, right? And they have this mission that they have to go on. They have to go and rescue these American kids who've been taken prisoner or whatever by their father in another country or something, and they have to go save them. But originally the guy, the leader of the group, said, oh no, we don't want to take that on, it's too risky or whatever, like what do we have, you know, to do with this? And he's convinced to do it by his gorgeous female attorney. So she not only gets them in on doing this, but she wants to come along to help. So there's that. I am promised that there is good bits. The sex is great. The action nonstop. Says book list, start review. So we're good to go on that. It's a bit thick, but I reckon, you know, literally nothing else to do. So it's not like my time will be conflicted. But the other one I have is on audiobook. It's on my audiobook library app thing, and it is called The Rogue Not Taken by Sarah Mclean. I do like a bit of Sarah Mclean. Sometimes those can be a bit dumb, so okay, like leaving DNFs on the table just to go, you know. But generally, I like her, so we'll see. This one is about the ugly sister. So she's like, of her sisters, she's the ugliest, and she has like a bit of an embarrassing situation in London. Something happens, she's got to flee the city, and she attempts to like stow away on a carriage or something just to get out of the city or whatever. She accidentally gets on the carriage of like this infamous womanizer or whatever, this like aristocratic man. He's like on his way to Scotland or whatever. And he finds out that she's stowed away, and like first of all he's like thinking that she's going to try to trick him into marriage. But you know, I guess over the course of time, in close quarters, in this carriage, tiny, all the way to Scotland, you know, anything can happen. Sex can happen, you don't know. Okay, anyway. So those are the end of the books that I have at the minute. Like, if anyone has any ideas of things like this, please let me know, okay? Hit me with your favorite filthy romances, okay? Like, if we can keep them to being historical ones, that would be good. I find that when I read the modern ones, I find them cheesy and annoying. I know that all filthy romances are cheesy and annoying, but like, if it's something to do with not modern, sort of current times, like historical, I find that I'm weirdly okay with it. I guess because I wasn't there at that time. How do I know what they speak like? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. People who say, like, the dialogue and everything in these filthy novels that are supposed to be happening right now, I just can't cope. I can't abide with the dialogue in them. But if you know of any like this, like the historical, like filthy romance types, like, hit me with them, please. Okay, I may be adding more to my list. We'll see how quickly I get through this. Also with horrors. So I can't be dealing with like super scary, like slasher type things, but like slow burn creepy, I am for. Like, one of my favorite books ever was this one called like Meddling Kids by Edgar Cantero or something. So it's in the horror section. I don't really understand why, because it's about basically these Scooby-Doo kids. They've grown up, and it's like what it would be like after they'd grown up. Like, they're a bit still haunted by all of these things that they uncovered when they were kids, and like, it's just really good. I really liked it. So anyway, hit me. I need your recs. So the last thing that I want to talk about before I go is InCoWriMo. So InCoWriMo is International Correspondence Writing Month, and I always do InCoWriMo. It's such a cheery thing to do in the depths of winter. So you just write a letter or some version of correspondence every day and send it. You get to send mail, loads of people send you mail, other people get mail. It's just win all the way around. So I like usually do like a calendar and sort of set out who I'm going to write my thing to per day to make sure they get it in every day. But I've decided not to do that this month because life is too hard. I'm just going to wing it off the cuff. Who do I want to send mail to today? And I've got loads of like little bits, you know, like those waxy things where you burn them and the seal goes and you like put the sealer thing on it. And you know, I've got fab stationery, I've got nib ink and pens and everything. Like, I am ready to go, and I feel like y'all should do it as well. Like, if you're into mail, you should do this, okay? If you want to write me for InCoWriMo and you want me to write you, let me know. Like, send me a message in Instagram or something like that, and like we can exchange like addresses, postal addresses or whatever, because that would be amazing. But a lot of times, so I'll send letters and stuff to like my friends and family, blah, 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 but I don't have like 28 members of friends and family that want mail. So I usually fill it in with post-crossing. So I'll put the video that I did recently to do with post-crossing down below, just in case you don't know about it. But the idea is you sort of sign up for this thing and you send postcards to random people around the world and they send you some. So I'll be like, oh, one day I'll write, you know, my mom a thing and I'll send it off or blah, blah, blah. And then the next day I'll do a post-crossing thing. I'll send a postcard to a random person in the world. And then the next day, oh, you know, I'll write my friend Kathy a thing. But anyway, it's fantastic. And you can just get all the way in. You can decorate it like 80,000 things of stickers and washi tape and like special paper and like special pens. They're just waiting for InCoWriMo every year. I'm just so excited. If you have any questions, just hit me in the comments. I will let you know all of the details about this stuff. I'll also put like their website thing below. Anyway, I now have to go. But if you have any comments about anything, you know, InCoWriMo, the books I'm gonna read, you know, if you have any recs or anything like that, please let me know. I will see you soon. Okay, bye. Bye.